The furious roar of the Northern Dragon King thundered through the blood formation, echoing endlessly before finally fading into the distance. Puff! The pink flame above Zean's head suddenly surged outward in response to the roar, rapidly forming a blazing barrier that tightly enveloped her. The surrounding blood mist hissed violently upon contact with the flame, instantly evaporating into nothingness. Northern Dragon King. So you truly are the source of all this chaos. As the fire barrier took shape, the space beside Zean rippled. Two figures slowly emerged from the distortion, Xiaoyan and Kailin, who had arrived at full speed. It's Xiaoyan. Their sudden appearance immediately caught the attention of the Eastern Dragon Island members outside the formation. Joyful cries rang out, but they were quickly replaced by solemn expressions on the faces of several elders. Although they knew Xiaoyan was an elite Du Sheng, the current situation was so dire that even an ordinary Du Sheng would likely perish. The thought of death caused many hearts to sink. Tsk, tsk. Huang Tian really is useless, the Northern Dragon King sneered, his scarlet eyes locking onto Xiaoyan as silence fell. He licked the blood from the corner of his mouth and said in a low, mocking voice, "He only managed to delay you for such a short time. But it doesn't matter. The outcome has already been decided. Your arrival merely provides me with another sacrifice." Xiaoyan remained calm. His gaze swept over the Northern Dragon King, briefly lingering on the grotesque trio of faces. With his spiritual perception, he instantly understood the reason behind this man's sudden surge in power. His brows furrowed slightly. This fellow was far more vicious than he had imagined. Cough! At that moment, Zean suddenly coughed up a mouthful of fresh blood. Her face turned deathly pale as bloody energy spread rapidly from her shoulder, eroding her body. Although the Dragon Phoenix constitution struggled desperately to resist it, the searing pain still caused her complexion to grow even paler. Tsk-tesk. Even with the Dragon Phoenix constitution, being struck by the dragon-transforming demon formation won't feel pleasant. The Northern Dragon King laughed wildly, clearly delighted by Zean's weakened state. He had sacrificed nearly the entire population of Northern Dragon Island for this reversal. After paying such a horrific price, seeing Zean pushed to this extent filled him with indescribable satisfaction. "Why, are you both here?" Zean wiped the blood from the corner of her mouth. Her pale face was heartbreaking to behold as her dim eyes turned toward Xiaoyan and Kailin. "This time, it won't be as easy as before," she said bitterly. "He has devoured the Western and Southern Dragon Kings, along with countless clan members. He has already faintly reached the level of a 6-star Du Sheng, a 6-star Do Sheng. Though Zean's strength had grown rapidly over the past 2 years, she had yet to break through to the 5th star. Even with her Dragon Phoenix constitution, the gap was simply too great." Xiaoyan smiled at her but said nothing. He gently placed his hand on her shoulder, the one radiating bloody energy. A faint pink flame flickered into existence. Her trying to expel the dragon-transforming blood, Qi, the Northern Dragon King, sneered. "Do you really think?" His laughter abruptly stopped. To his shock, tendrils of blood Qi rapidly seeped out from Zean's shoulder, only to be instantly devoured by the pink flame and vanish completely. Heavenly flame. Shock flashed across the Northern Dragon King's eyes. Only now did he realize that the heavenly flame Xiaoyan wielded was fundamentally different from before. Xiaoyan ignored him. He guided the purifying demonic lotus flame through Zean's body, thoroughly devouring every trace of dragon-transforming blood Qi. Only then did he slowly withdraw his palm. Zean's complexion improved slightly, but her aura remained extremely weak. To Xiaoyan and Kailin's astonishment, her body began to shrink. Within moments, she reverted to her former childlike appearance. "I'm too weak," Zean said with a bitter smile. "This form consumes the least amount of energy." "Haha, this version of you is much cuter." Xiaoyan laughed, rubbing her small head. "You and Kailin should retreat. Leave this to me." Zean was startled. She clenched her teeth. "He's very powerful. I've never bitten off more than I can chew," Xiaoyan replied calmly. As she looked at his confident smile, Zean suddenly realized that Xiaoyan's strength had once again surpassed her own. Joy flickered across her small face. "Do you need help?" Kailin asked softly, concern flashing in her eyes. "He hasn't truly reached the 6th star," Xiaoyan said calmly. "It's still possible to defeat him. There are many ancient Void Dragon clan members trapped within the formation. You should rescue them while I hold him back. Otherwise, he'll continue devouring their blood and Du Qi maintaining peak strength." Kailin nodded without hesitation. She seized Zean and swiftly flew out of the formation, appearing before the anxious Eastern Dragon Island elders. They immediately rushed forward. If Zean were to fall, unification would be impossible. The Northern Dragon King did not stop them. In his eyes, their lives were merely being prolonged. Once Xiaoyan fell, everyone here would be devoured. A savage smile crept onto his face. "Your blood carries an interesting scent," he said, licking his lips as he stared at Xiaoyan. Similar to Dragon Phoenix, but even more delicious. Xiaoyan's gaze hardened. He understood perfectly his body contained multiple supreme bloodlines. Without responding, he raised his hand. Pink flames spread outward, vaporizing the surrounding blood qi with terrifying heat. The Northern Dragon King's eyes narrowed. Even in his bloodlust, his cautious nature remained. "You possess the Dragon Phoenix bloodline," he said coldly. "Then taste the dragon-slaying sword." In a flash, he stepped forward, his massive blood-red sword hacked down toward Xiaoyan's head, the stench of blood filling the air. Yellow spring palm. Xiaoyan retreated, launching a massive energy palm forward. Pathetic, the Northern Dragon King laughed, cleaving the palm in half before releasing 3 lightning-fast sword glares. Xiaoyan flapped his green-red bone wings, narrowly dodging. Before he could stabilize himself, the Northern Dragon King attacked again, relentlessly pressing the assault. The Eastern Dragon Island elders grew increasingly anxious. If Xiaoyan fell, everything would be lost. Bung! Under countless tense gazes, Xiaoyan collided head-on with the Northern Dragon King and was sent stumbling back dozens of steps, blood surging violently within him. "He's indeed barely at the 6th star." Xiaoyan's expression turned grave. "Ordinary Du Qi would not suffice. I'll have to use that technique." His eyes flickered. He suppressed his aura as his hands rapidly formed complex ancient seals. Within his body, Little Yi opened his eyes and appeared between Xiaoyan's brows, forming the same seals. "Xiaoyan defeating me with this strength is nothing but wishful thinking." The Northern Dragon King sneered, slashing mercilessly. At that moment, Xiaoyan and Little Yi's seals froze. Man and flame merge extermination fire body. The fire lotus in Xiaoyan's eyes began to spin wildly. A terrifying, world-annihilating aura erupted from his body like a raging storm, causing every face present to turn deathly pale. Boom! As that extermination-like aura swept out from Xiaoyan's body, his entire form ignited. Pink flames surged forth, enveloping him completely. His skin, muscles, bones, even every single cell within his body were flooded with blazing pink fire. Mochi! The flames burned ferociously. As they spread, Xiaoyan's body gradually became crystal clear. Through the fire, one could vaguely see his internal organs, now encased in a layer of pink crystalline light. The green-red wings on his back slowly transformed, eventually becoming a pair of enormous pink wings. From afar, they looked as though they were forged from transparent glass, radiating an indescribable sense of mystery. The extermination firebody was a technique that unleashed the power of a heavenly flame to its absolute limit, by merging it directly with one's physical body. Such a method demanded nearly perfect control over the heavenly flame. After all, heavenly flames were far too violent, even after refinement. The human body was still fragile in comparison. No one would dare casually alter their constitution with a heavenly flame. Even Xiaoyan had never dared to attempt such a thing. However, after Little Yi appeared, this hidden danger vanished entirely. Little Yi and Xiaoyan were mentally linked, essentially one entity. As the spirit of a heavenly flame, Little Yi's control over fire surpassed all others in the world. Thus, the near-impossible conditions required to form the extermination firebody were perfectly fulfilled. This was the first time Xiaoyan had used this technique since leaving the demonic flame realm, yet he was utterly confident in its might. From a certain perspective, the extermination firebody was akin to transforming oneself into a mobile extermination fire lotus, each movement carrying the same terrifying destructive power. The only drawback was its staggering consumption of Du Qi. Even with Xiaoyan's current strength, he could likely maintain it for no more than a minute. A single minute passed in the blink of an eye. But in a battle between true experts, that single minute was more than enough to determine victory or defeat. The sudden eruption of the extermination aura was sensed by countless ancient Void Dragon clan members outside the formation. Shocked gazes instantly locked onto Xiaoyan. What a terrifying aura! In less than 3 years, he's reached this level already. Elder Julie stared in disbelief, envy written across his face. When they had first met, he had still been slightly stronger than Xiaoyan. Now the gap was immeasurable. "It seems our ancient Void Dragon tribe is saved," another elder said with relief. Zean, watching from outside the formation, felt joy surge in her eyes. The aura erupting from Xiaoyan filled her with reassurance. "Tuh, just a flashy trick," the Northern Dragon King sneered, narrowing his scarlet eyes as Xiaoyan completed his transformation. "Your fate won't change today." Despite his mocking words, the caution in his heart soared. Xiaoyan now posed genuine danger. One mistake, and he would pay a catastrophic price. The Northern Dragon King rapidly formed seals with his blood-colored hands and roared, "Blood dragon, devour the sky!" Roar! The massive blood formation churned violently. Endless bloody do chi gathered above the Northern Dragon King, slowly condensing into a savage blood dragon larger than the entire Dragon Island. A murderous feral roar echoed through the empty realm. Bung bung! Within the island, countless ancient Void Dragon clan members suddenly exploded into blood mist, which was immediately absorbed by the blood dragon, causing its color to deepen and glow even brighter. On the other side of the formation, Kai Lin worked furiously, throwing clan members out one by one. Despite her speed, many still exploded before they could be saved. Her brows knit tightly as she waved her hand. 10 7-colored lights shot out, drastically increasing her rescue speed. Tak Tusk! The dragon-transforming demon formation truly deserves to be the ultimate technique of our clan, the Northern Dragon King muttered madly. Those fools actually thought of destroying it. Utterly ridiculous. His madness intensified as he gazed at the colossal blood dragon. With a cold glance at Xiaoyan, his body turned into a streak of bloodlight and shot straight into the dragon's mouth. Once merged, the blood dragon's radiance converged onto him. A dim crimson glow wrapped his body as massive dragon scales shimmered with chilling vitality. Roar! The blood dragon's enormous eyes locked onto Xiaoyan with merciless intent. Its colossal body trembled as it opened its gaping jaws, unleashing a 10,000-foot blood beam that tore through space like a raging flood dragon. "Be careful," Zean cried out, sensing the horrifying power within the attack. "Ha ha ha. Xiaoyan, since you've delivered yourself to me, I'll grant you death." The Northern Dragon King's triumphant roar echoed across the empty realm. Xiaoyan slowly opened his eyes. His black pupils were now crystal clear, while the fire lotus within him rotated violently. "So this is my strength." He glanced down at his pink glass-like body, intoxication flickering across his face. At this moment, he was the purifying demonic lotus flame itself. With sufficient do chi, he could unleash its true destructive might, burning mountains, boiling seas with a mere gesture. Man and flame had completely merged. Across the entire do chi continent, only Xiaoyan had reached such a realm. A scorching breath slowly escaped his lips. He lifted his head calmly, watching the blood beam swell within his vision. The corners of his mouth curled slightly. He did not defend. Instead, his fire wings flapped gently. Before countless stunned eyes, Xiaoyan transformed into a blazing meteor and charged straight into the blood beam. The instant they collided, everyone's pupils shrank in shock. The blood beam, capable of gravely injuring a 5-star Dao Sheng, dimmed instantly upon contact. It warped, weakened, and collapsed at a horrifying speed. It offered no resistance at all. Bung! The blood beam completely shattered. Meanwhile, the fire meteor figure continued forward, growing larger and larger in the blood dragon's disbelieving eyes. "I won't fail," the Northern Dragon King roared madly. This was his final chance. Roar! A blinding crimson light erupted from the blood dragon. All remaining energy condensed into a dark 5-foot blood bead covered in vein-like patterns. A soul-chilling stench spread through the empty realm. Swoosh! The Northern Dragon King shot the bead toward Xiaoyan without hesitation. The blood dragon immediately began to crumble as though its life had been drained entirely. Dragon Soul Bead! The elders outside the formation roared in fury. He didn't even spare the souls of the clan. Zean's body trembled violently. Murderous intent surged within her eyes. The Northern Dragon King ignored them all, staring at Xiaoyan as he collided with the blood bead. A savage grin spread across his face. "Xiaogandie,